Hi guys, Steph here. Right, what we've got for you today is another pen haul video. Now, before I go into the video and show you what we've found, I still get a number of messages from people saying to me, Steph, you're so lucky to have all these pens. Now, as I've already told my viewers in previous pen haul videos, it's getting harder and harder to find these pens. And again, I'm getting these messages, you're so lucky to have all these pens. Let me just give you a little bit of an insight to how lucky I really am. Now, this pen haul was from sort of maybe about 2 weeks ago. I went to numerous locations to find or to look for pens. Now, in no particular order, but from the highest mileage. The first one I went to, I had the opportunity to have a look at some pens that somebody was actually selling, and I actually drove 213 miles, and Google told me it was 3 hours and 45 minutes to get to the location. Now, that particular day was actually a nightmare in that when I got on the motorway, there was an accident and the whole motorway was totally closed. So I sat in a traffic jam for about 3 hours. I was thinking, should I turn around and go back home? And I thought, well, no, I'll just carry on. So that particular day, as I say, when I got there, I selected a few pens. We tried to negotiate a price, but unfortunately the prices were too high for me. But while I was actually there, I did select 6 pens. I thought, I'm not having a wasted trip. It's a long drive, long hours. So I purchased, I think it was about 6 pens, which you'll see in the pen haul. Couple of nice ones, couple of not so nice, but again, I had to pay what I consider to be a lot of money for them. So that particular day was a total nightmare as far as I was concerned. But again, 4 o'clock in the morning, I set off, 213 miles, near as damn it 4 hours driving. That's how lucky I am. The next one, slightly lower, was 121 miles, 2 hours and 24 minutes. Again, when I got there, I can only buy what I find. While I was at that particular location, there were a number of other pen dealers were actually looking for pens as well. So that was that one. Again, on that, I think it was last weekend, I went to another one, 83 miles, 1 hour and 31 minutes driving. Again, I had a look round, I could only buy what I saw. The next one was 75 miles, 1 hour and 16 minutes. And then I think it was this Sunday, there was one sort of little bit local. There was one at my local town hall, which is 5 minutes away, only a small one. And then on the Sunday, there was a sort of another local one at 27 miles, about 30 minutes driving. So all them mileage were actually one way. If you actually add them all up, which I've not done before, and I decided to do that, it was actually 1,038 miles that I actually travelled. And then you can add the sort of the time, the hours up yourselves sometimes. So yeah, 1,038 miles. That's how lucky I am. So it's not luck. There's a lot of hard work, a lot of early morning starts. Again, when I get to the location, sometimes it works out, sometimes it does not. So it's a bit of, a little bit of give and take, whether you actually have a good day or a bad day. As I say, the furthest one was just a total bad day, a total nightmare of a day. But yeah, you people, or some of you people, turn around and say, Steph, You're so lucky to have these pens. Lucky? I don't think so. As I say, a lot of hard work, a lot of early starts. So that's my little bit of rambling about, how difficult it is now trying to find pens. So without further ado, let's show you what I found. Again, as always, there's some good, bad, some ugly, a couple of sort of interesting ones, but let's have a look at them. So, let's take a look at the pens that I found on them trips. Now, because of my little bit of a rambling at the beginning, I'm going to try and keep it short. So, I'm just going to show you the box ones first, and then tomorrow I'll show you all the loose ones. So, keep watching. So, what have we got here? It looks like a cross. There we go. Look at that. A nice cross. Is it a pencil or a pen? But I believe this one's made in Ireland in lovely condition. Another case pen here. Let's have a look. Ah, there we go. We've got a lovely Lady Schaefer. Okay, let me just take it out. Just show you the nib. There we go. Is it a steel nib? But lovely pens. There we go, fitted with a converter as well. So we've got a Lady Schaefer, and this one is in this sort of like a brushed stainless steel effect. And I believe, if I remember rightly, if I open this one, there we go. There's another one, and this one is also, well, very, very similar. And again with a steel nib. And again fitted with a converter. So there we go. Two very similar pens that we found on our travels. Now this one is, again, some of these pens, incidentally, a lot of these pens, there's some good, there's some bad, and there's ugly, as I've mentioned. All of them are available. So if anything's of interest, as I've said before, down below, get in touch. Okay, now as I say, this one's an interesting one. There we go. It's a Penhole. Now some of you will say, who made Penhole? I believe these were a Danish made manufacturer. And look at that, a lovely chunky pen. The only problem being is I believe there may have been another sort of matching jewel to the bottom there, so I'm gonna have to try and find something to replace it. It's got a lovely nib there. I'm not too sure. Is it a Penhole nib? Can you see there better than I can? But the nice thing about it, it's a lovely, lovely chunky fountain pen. So what we need to do, and I believe if I just take this off, yeah, it's a button filler. But we need to find sort of the missing jewel to the end there, which I'll do some searching. But once I've restored it, that'll become a lovely pen. As I say, quite a large pen. Very interesting. Or do I keep it in my collection? Not too sure. There we go. Does what it says on the tin. It's a Parker. And then there we go. And this one is, there we go, a Parker 65 with this lovely nib, one of my favourite nibs, in very nice condition. Also has the converter, just needs servicing and cleaning. That'll make a lovely pen for somebody. So where are you Parker 65 fans? Let's bring these a bit closer. Let's have a look at this one here. There we go. It's a pencil. It's a gold. I think it's a gold fill. Little bit of wear just to the very edge there to the top. But yeah, very nice indeed. It's got the instructions inside. I know there's people out there that collect these pencils. So as I said before, if it's of interest, get in touch. Now, this one's interesting. If you look at the box there, it's quite an old This is one of the earliest Swan boxes. You can tell by the font, etc. here. Now inside, not one, but two pens. And both of them are actually in lovely condition. Okay, let's show you the barrel imprint if I can. If you want to actually, anybody wants to see any of these pens reviewed, if it's possible, I will do that for you. So again, let me know below. But the barrel imprint on this one reads, where are we? Oh, it's a Blackbird fountain pen, maybe Todd and Company, made in England. So it's a Maybe Todd Blackbird, one of the earlier ones. It's got a lovely nib there. And this one is an eyedropper fountain pen. So this is one of the interesting pens. These pens are from the very early 1900s, 1920s. So yes, these are antique fountain pens. But the surprising thing is the condition of the pen. It's absolutely superb. And then we've got another one yet again in gorgeous condition. If I remember rightly, on this one, the barrel imprint reads Blackbird fountain pen, maybe Todd and Company, New York, USA, made in USA during the war. Okay, so a slightly different barrel imprint that I've just read to you. There we go. So made in USA during the war. Just needs a clean. Once again, this is an eyedropper fountain pen. So on these pens, what I'll do internally, I'll give it a thorough clean. So it's like as it came out of the factory. But the thing about these two pens is quite simply, the condition of these pens are absolutely superb. So whether they were kept in this box all that time and that's helped to preserve them, I don't know, but in excellent condition as they are. So quite simply, that's it. That's the end of the boxed pens. So what I'll do another review on the loose pens and we'll put that up tomorrow for you, so keep watching for that. But for now, I'll just say Slava Ukraini, and from me, bye bye for now.